dive that scene, and you can come out. And so I began a meditation practice, and I started with what is called Vipassana, or insight meditation, which is about following the breath, working on the level of thought, working on the level of physical sensations in the body, and just really building that really powerful mind, body, spirit connection, and learning to be with difficult emotions without feeling like push them away or fully just get engulfed by them, so that was huge. But it was really the loving kindness practice, or what is called metta meditation, caused me to have a huge opening around healing my past. That girl inside of me who wanted to die was still in there, and I had not befriended her. I didn't want to acknowledge her. I was like, I'm better now. I'm activism kicking in. I'm going to fight this. Fuck all of you. So I didn't want to acknowledge her, and so through the practice of loving kindness, that brings up all your stuff that you don't want, that you don't love. This loving kindness, it's so lovely. No. It brings all your shit. I'm like, woof. And I just remember I had this moment where I just was in the hall. I got up, I left the hall, and just sat on this hill, and I just howled for her. I howled for the pain that this girl felt, and was able to befriend her. And that changed everything.
So I ended up meditating like my hair is on fire. Basically, I just became extremely diligent. I had to make peace with these deeper truths that began to unfold in my work, essentially really, really seeing the interconnected and permanent nature of the world, and how the sense of ground and solidity and stability that I had taken for granted was actually kind of an illusion, and I had to actually make peace with a much more deeper truth of the world as being far less kind of grounded and far more impermanent and unstable. And so I turned to my body. So actually, I was fortunate that I was able to resource myself because I had some really good resources. So I didn't have to go to the system. I didn't have to go on drugs. But nonetheless, it was still extremely terrifying for much of it. I was having panic attacks. I was having extremely wild belief systems within my mind that sometimes I mostly managed to keep an observing sort of witness to all of that. But sometimes I'd get that lost in them. But mostly a mindfulness practice helped me maintain a observing kind of presence for all of that, and bit by bit I made peace with it, worked through it, and I came through the other side recognizing that I'd actually gone through this profound healing process. And it was interesting because part of me the whole time, if I went online and went through Google, etc., I'd be like, okay, you have this brain disease, probably called schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder or something like that. And I just was like, you know what, I can't even go there because to think that there's something broken about my brain is just, I'm so fragile right now, it's just that's going to create a self-fulfilling process, essentially. So I had to trust that there was a deep healing process because I could feel that all this early turmoil and trauma was kind of emerging and flooding me, along with like much more sort of transpersonal experiences. I could feel that my being was trying to heal that. I could feel that happening inside of me. So I just said, okay, I need to trust this process.
I really think there are many of us who have experiences which may be incomprehensible at the time they happen, but which contain the possibility of deep transformational learning. They can help us go beyond the limited ways we have been taught to experience ourselves and the world.
People do come out of these states and they integrate on a better level, and their lives very often become better. Mine has. I have written a book about these experiences, and I see myself as a much happier person than I was before my crisis.
I've had a number of spiritual awakening experiences. These are really important to me. I feel they've guided me in my life. They've connected me to my soul and to something beyond what we can normally see.
And I prize the extreme states very highly. I value them. I think there is so much to be gained from these extreme states, that they put us face to face with parts of being a human that we don't experience otherwise. and if properly supported, we can gain a lot from them.
So ultimately experiencing more happiness, more peace, more connection with all of life. So I'm really happy to emerge proud today and to share that with you all, to give you hope if you're in a similar experience, that actually, you know, the difficult experiences can be very temporary, and with a bit of support and guidance and grounding can become the most wonderful experience of your life, of actually waking up to more of who you really are.
I feel like the profound experiences that I've had of connection and harmony, and also challenging experiences of difficult visions and experiences, are all part of making me who I am, this profound sensitive being, open and aware of the preciousness of life.
What I find interesting about it is that although I find that you have your initial breakdown and crisis, and at times it can seem pretty chaotic and pretty messy and a really bad place to be in, but for me, over the course of how it's developed over the last few years, it seems like the kind of state of mind and the place that I'm in now is a much more healthier place with a much more sense of well-being and contentment with life, and just a whole new perspective on everything. And so it's like, to me it seems strange, that everyone would be trying to avoid and shut down all these kinds of processes that go on in people, because I have seen personally in my life that I'm in a much better place than I'm in a much better place now than I ever was before any of this all happened. So for that reason, I think there's great value in it.
I'm very thankful that I have been able to break out of the box of mental illness, and that I have emerged as a baby shaman. It's been a difficult path, and in Robert Frost's words, it's a path less traveled by, but it's made all the difference for me.
And basically, I found a new life purpose. I found a new life purpose to help others who are going through this experience, because there is a big opportunity in that process, a chance, an opportunity for a transformation. And that's one of the main reasons why I think to normalize these experiences are really crucial, because these people, we are a chance for a better world.
I wonder really how much of mental illness is truly just a spiritual awakening.
Are we all breaking down so that we can break through?
Evolution requires it's a series of chaos and order. And so in order for, when a current order or system is no longer working, it doesn't just simply, do a nice clean transition to an adaptation to better order. It generally has to go through a process of disintegration or chaos, falling apart, before it can reemerge into a more adaptive order. And so it's kind of this series of chaos followed by a more adaptive order, et cetera. And so I was looking at the state of the human species today, and there's no doubt we're in a state of extreme chaos at the moment. So, and if you look at madness like that as well, so when a person goes through a state of so-called madness or spiritual emergency, what's the whole worldview essentially kind of disintegrates, but then reintegrates in a more wholesome state.
So is a positive transformation possible for everyone who is going through crisis?
Not only is it possible, it's the most likely outcome with the right support. We develop such a pessimistic attitude towards extreme states in our culture, but I think it's mostly because of the way we treat people going through those extreme states. If we really offer proper support, the wisdom's there. The being is already moving in the right direction.
It's important for mental health professionals to hear our stories of recovery and misdiagnosis, and for people experiencing distress and confusion to know that there is hope and that these are normal human experiences.
This is very important to normalize experiences, to celebrate the value of them, and to give a voice to all the people like myself who experience things and go through challenges of trying to explain them to other people, finding community where we can share and navigate our journeys, and to bring forth the benefits of these experiences, because they're only going to benefit the world. And it's important that each one of us that undergoes these experiences takes steps to make sure that it becomes easier and easier for people to changes and the boom of our experiences.
I think the biggest thing is this very powerful and subversive knowledge that we can heal ourselves. And not that this has to be done in isolation. Of course, I believe in all the support and all the community as part of that, but that we have the ability to heal ourselves. We don't need outside authorities to tell us what to do. We don't need that. We don't need to depend on external conditions or substances to heal. That we have the capacity through and it looks different for every single person. I just want people to know that you have this power, you have this capacity, despite what you have been told and despite all the lies that have been told to you. And I feel like if people really knew that and had permission to discover what that looks like for them, we would have a completely different world. Of people who are empowered and connected on a mind, body, spirit level and to one another.
Spiritual emergencies are one of the key phenomena of our age. They are not only signs of the times, signals of the discomfort of our age, like every age has had in the past, but they are also a signal of something changing in the human evolution. Yes, there are so many signals that we are facing a major anthropological shift by a widespread discomfort, a pervasive malaise in which at last something is making its room, something is coming through.
It's about changing the systems in order to have governments take responsibility and invest resources to change the laws and be able to accommodate and give more agency and rights to individuals that are experiencing all kinds of disability, including mental disability. It depends how you frame it, right? The framing.
All around the world, people go through noticeably similar experiences. It seems to be the interpretation of them that makes a profound difference to the outcome. Imagine how beautiful the process could be and the knock-on effect for the world if the trauma of pathologizing potentially transformative experiences did not exist.
We have to discover ourselves as part of a wisdom that reaches beyond our modern Western worldview, and part of a love that binds all of us and is deeply healing for us and for our society. Our world and our survival may actually depend on it.
Gail. Really?
People